Welcome back to Immigration Express. The Trump administration is now moving swiftly to escalate its deportation operations, with multiple U.S. officials confirming that undocumented migrants could be deported to Libya as early as today using U.S. military aircraft. This shocking move, unprecedented in both scope and destination, has already drawn intense scrutiny, especially after President Trump himself appeared unaware of the plan when questioned in the Oval Office. "I don't know. You'll have to ask Homeland Security," he said, leaving both the public and members of his own staff visibly stunned. Officials at Homeland Security and the White House have refused to answer direct questions about which migrants are being deported, when the flights will occur, and whether Libya is indeed the confirmed destination. The State Department has also declined to comment, citing diplomatic confidentiality. Senator Marco Rubio stated that the administration is pursuing deportation agreements with other countries, but both of Libya's rival governments, the internationally recognized Western Authority and the Eastern militia-led faction, have issued firm denials that any such agreement with the United States exists. In a dramatic legal twist, a federal judge in Massachusetts has issued an injunction halting any deportations to Libya, declaring that such actions would violate existing court protections. The ruling cites horrific conditions in Libyan detention centers as the primary concern. A recent human rights report revealed that migrants in Libya are systematically denied access to legal counsel, courts, or any semblance of due process. Frederick Wary of the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, who has visited several of these facilities, described them as nightmarish, overcrowded, windowless spaces plagued by disease, poor sanitation, physical abuse, sexual violence, and starvation. "The sense," he said, "is that the people inside have been utterly forgotten by the world." Back on U.S. soil, the deportation crackdown is hitting the restaurant industry. ICE agents this week conducted a series of unannounced visits to restaurants across Washington, D.C., demanding to inspect I-9 employment forms. Immigrant advocates say these raids amount to intimidation tactics. Although no arrests were made, the psychological impact has been profound. In one case, Bo Blair, a restaurant owner in Northwest D.C., reported that ICE agents in both uniform and plainclothes demanded access to his staff and documentation. Employees denied them entry to private areas, asserting their rights under the law. Still, Blair said two of his longtime workers were so shaken they haven't returned since the incident. "This is a new level of harassment," he said. "Without immigrants, there are no restaurants." His comments echo concerns reverberating across the hospitality sector. Immigration advocacy groups are now ramping up educational outreach, reminding both employers and workers of their legal rights. They stress that law enforcement officials cannot access non-public areas of a business without a warrant signed by a judge, and that such warrants must clearly state what they're looking for. Meanwhile, the federal judiciary continues to challenge the legal foundation of the administration's actions. Judges in New York and Colorado have now joined their Massachusetts colleague in ruling that President Trump's use of the centuries-old Alien Enemies Act to justify deportations oversteps his authority. That makes 3 federal rulings directly rejecting the administration's interpretation of the law. In a related legal battle, another court is weighing whether the U.S. government must return Venezuelan nationals recently deported to El Salvador under this same controversial statute. A decision in that case is expected within days. The legal and ethical implications are intensifying with each passing day. What began as an immigration crackdown has escalated into a national reckoning over legality, human rights, and the limits of executive power. As officials dodge accountability and courtrooms overflow with urgent challenges, the lives of thousands of immigrant families remain suspended in fear and uncertainty. This is no longer just about immigration policy. It is a defining test of American values, and the world is watching. Thank you for staying with us on Immigration Express. As this story unfolds, we'll continue bringing you the facts, the voices, and the truth behind the headlines. For more updates on immigration, legal battles, and the human stories at the heart of it all, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, stay informed and stay strong.